Hey everyone, and welcome to the VitaCast, episode 80. Yes, 80 flipping episodes of this awesome VitaCast. And we are the VitaCast. With me is Kyle. What's up, Kyle?
Not much, just kind of a little bit proud that we made it to the octogenarian state.
That's a big word. I don't even want
It
to
is
attempt to say it.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So big, we don't even want to attempt to say it.
Yeah, that's just how crazy it is. Anyways, we've got a familiar voice joining us. He hasn't been here in a couple weeks, but he's here now. What's up, Liam?
The sky. Hey guys.
He starts off coming back with a terrible joke. You can leave now, Liam.
What do we tune into lame Liam here on the VitaCast?
Yeah. That's what we're here for.
Wake up, Liam.
Well,
It's time for Vita.
dogs are barking. Liam has terrible jokes. It's the VitaCast. Let's get right into it. So, normally we start off with what we've been playing, and that's what we're going to do right now. So, Kyle, I'm going to start it with you. What have you been playing?
You like to throw to me recently when I'm in attempt of getting ready, so
I love doing that because I know you're not ready, and I just like to see you frustrated.
well, I was in the middle of getting ready, so this little chat has given me the time that I needed.
Perfect.
So, anywho, what I've played this week isn't too much as far as time, because I haven't had a lot of time this week, but I've actually played quite a few games. So, first of all, we have Tetris, which I mostly talked about last week, and I'm going to talk about a little bit more in a minute, so we'll just say that I played Tetris Ultimate, and it was pretty ultimate. Moving on, I also played some Hatsune Miku Project Diva F. I'm working on the next level up of Songs difficulty, because I think I played through on easy to start. Now I'm on normal, I think. Anywho, on the next level of Song difficulty, so working on that. Also played a little bit of Senran Kagura Bon Appetit. Was kind of feeling the rhythm there and kind of got into that, so was kind of bouncing back and forth like the boobies on Senran Kagura, and yeah, it's good. I think I need to get more DLC because I'm getting tired of looking at them the way they are. Them bitches. But anywho, also played some Hot Shots Golf. Was trying to, try my luck for some of those luck-based trophies, or at least more luck-based than they should be. The hole-in-one and the double eagle one, I think. I'm missing one on PlayStation 3 and one on Vita, and I'm just kind of trying for them. So, got one on one and one on the other, and I don't know, whatever. I'll get them eventually. Also played a little bit of Ollie Ollie, Ollie Ollie 2 anyway. Mostly in between writing news stories the last couple days. That was my break game, other than some Tetris, which kind of hasn't really left my Vita screen very much. Oh, and I played a little bit of Akiba's Trip. I still need to go through some of the alternate endings or whatever, so I went back and played a little bit of that. So lots of games kind of all over the place. The one I probably put most into time-wise was Tetris again this week, so it's been block breaking for me. What about you guys? What about you, Tyler? What have you been playing?
Well, I've played a little bit, and I've been not really all over, but I've been playing the crap out of Lego Jurassic World. That game came out last week, and I'm loving it. It's not like the other Lego games that I played that I was hating on the past couple of weeks, like Lego Marvel and Lego Movie, the video game, whatever it was. I hated those games. They had that stupid 3/4 perspective view, and oh my gosh, they instantly turned me off. But Jurassic World goes back to the classic running around destroying things from the correct point of view that I enjoy, and I'm loving it. I've already beaten the game. Now I'm working on going for the platinum. There's a lot of trophies in this game, but gotta get that plat. So that's what I'm doing. I also played a little bit of Hyperdimension Neptunia Rebirth 3 V Generation. That is a long name. I haven't played very much of it, but I got the code a couple days ago, so I decided to download it and give it a spin. And yeah, it's more Hyperdimension Neptunia, so if that's what you like, then you won't be disappointed. But like I said, I'm very early in it, so I can't really say much about it. I also decided to start up some more Minecraft, and I was working on my survival island, and I died. I was very disappointed, but played a little bit of that, had some fun, and I'm also working on the story of Danganronpa 2, Goodbye Despair. I just got to the second murder, and man, I love Danganronpa. I need to play more, because it just, for a second, like, it kind of bored me for a little bit when I first started playing, but then when it finally kicked into the murder and, like, things started happening, I just remembered exactly why I like Danganronpa, and I'm back in it, and I want to play so much of it right now and figure out what's going on, and I'm so confused and at the same time so intrigued, and it's just, I love it. I love it. Anyways, yeah, I played a little bit of that. I also played some Sword Art Online Lost Song and Sword Art Online Hollow Fragment. Not too much of either of them, but a little bit of them. And I played, I think, one game of MLB 15 The Show, and I didn't jump into any walls, so that was fun. But yeah, that's pretty much all I played. So what about you, Liam? You've been gone for a while, so fill us in fill us in with what you've been playing.
Okay, so I've recently gone on quite a big Vita spend. I've added quite a lot of games to my collection. So of the ones I've had time to play so far, I've played a lot of FIFA 13. I basically bought that because I know I could get quite a lot of trophies from it. So I'm just basically trophy whoring at this point with FIFA. I also played Muramasa Rebirth. That game is actually really beautiful. And it's probably one of the best games I've played on Vita so far. I'm not very far into it, but I really have enjoyed the little that I have played of it. I also got Virtua Tennis 4, and that's quite addictive. It's probably one of the games that I spent most time with. I'm at least 6 or 7 hours into the main campaign of it. It's brilliant. I also finally got Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus as well. I've finally been able to see what all the hype is about in regards to that. And yeah, it's actually really, really good. Nudity aside.
Nudity aside. Nudity aside.
You've offended Kyle.
Don't even nudity aside, Liam. You know that's why you bought the game.
I wasn't in it for the breastises. I was in it for the gameplay.
Sure you were. Everybody knows that you're in it for the breastises and the gameplay is just extra.
Okay, so maybe I slightly lied there then.
Slightly.
It was a huge lie. Have you seen those breastises?
Yeah. And also, I played quite a lot of Tales of Hearts Hour as well because I remembered that I actually owned that game and how much I love the Tales of series.
I need to play more of that as well. I am neglecting tons of my games, but if you're familiar with this podcast, you know that Kyle and I, we have too many games. And now it seems like, Liam, you're starting to get a lot.
I'm neglecting that one on purpose, though, because that was fucking horrible for me. That was seriously one of the most boring RPGs I've ever played, and I was like, when will this be over? Can't believe that I took that. I should not have taken that for review.
Well, you live and you learn.
Indeed. You get a sour apple, or at least to your taste, every once in a while.
I feel like some people hate you about that, though, because they seem to be obsessed with that series.
Yeah.
To each their own.
Yeah.
I actually really, really, really love the Tales of series. They're just genuinely good RPGs for me because I'm not a fan of turn-based systems. So the combat system from the Tales of series was really refreshing when I first discovered it. So, yeah. But each to their own.
Oh, yeah. Well, all right. Is that all you played, Liam?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Let's jump into the reviews for this week. We got a couple here. So, Kyle, what's our first review?
All right. So first up this week is my Tetris Ultimate review. I gave it a 4.9 out of 5 and said, quote, packed with some great modes, a proper online leaderboard, stat tracking, enough customization options to please almost any player, and the offer of true portability, this truly is the ultimate version of Tetris, end quote. And if you can't tell by all the gushing I've been doing, the game is fucking awesome. Pretty much any way you've played Tetris over the last 20 years, you can customize the game to kind of play that way. So whatever rules you've grown up with, whatever kind of tweaks that you've liked that they've thrown at you with the sequels and spin-offs and this and that and the other thing, as long as it's not something that's crossover like Tetris Puyo Puyo, it's available and you can kind of maneuver your rules into getting what you want. So if you like Tetris, this is pretty much the best version I've found to get. There you go.
All right. Yeah, I've been holding off on it, but with your high praise review, it may have to jump on my list. But still, at the moment, I've got too many games, and Tetris is not calling me quite yet. What about you, Liam? Are you gonna pick this up?
I think it's a bit pricey at the moment for what it actually is.
I gotcha. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling at the same. So
yeah.
It is and it isn't. I initially thought it was kind of a, $15 for the digital version. What the hell? But after looking at it and looking at the PS4 version, it actually comes out cheaper than if you wanted the whole thing with all the DLC, because the Vita version comes with DLC and the PS4 version doesn't. So,
ooh.
If you want the whole thing, it's actually cheaper to get on Vita, and that's, a benefit to me. Although I know Liam is probably looking at getting the physical version of the game, which is more expensive.
Yeah, I'm just still kind of flabbergasted there that you mentioned Tetris had DLC. How could they give Tetris DLC?
Well, see, what it was is, on PlayStation 4, the game only released with 6 modes, and then there was 3 extra modes that you had to buy with DLC that are like add-ons. So the modes I think that they didn't have were like endless. I can't remember what the other one is, but it like drops Tetramino blocks on you like randomly. Landslide and Haunted, my favorite mode. So
Okay.
I would have been disappointed if it didn't have DLC.
Well, all right. DLC, Tetris. Interesting.
Indeed.
Let's move on to the next review, and the next one is Steins Gate by Charlie, and 5 out of 5 is what he's given it. So, here's his quote. Steins Gate is one of the best games I've played on the PlayStation Vita. A tale of time-traveling teens. You will find that there is a lot more depth to this game than meets the eye. The lack of gameplay will put some people off, but if you are a fan of visual novels or love a good story, then Steins Gate is a game you need to play. What the hell does that say? El
Congru.
End quote. Well, all right. I have no idea what that ending meant, but high praise, and I am really looking forward to this game. They need to announce it over here in North America. Right, Kyle?
Agreed. I actually was like just on the verge of being, not on the verge of being, on the verge of about to watch the anime for this when they were like, yeah, it's coming to the West. So I stopped, wanting to watch the anime. I was like, okay, I won't watch that. I'll just wait. I'll play the game. And then they were like, well, it's coming to North America and Europe. And I'm like, yes. And then they were like, here's the year update. And they don't say shit about North America. And I'm over here crying into my soup. Okay, so this is some bullshit. I agree with you. We need a release date or something, because I'm not a physical version collector. So I want the digital version. And there's no way for me to get that without fucking with account bullshit, which I don't really feel like doing. So hurry the hell up and give me my Steins Gate.
Yes. Well, lucky old Liam over there. Have you gotten it?
Not yet, no. I'm probably going to buy it when I get paid after Charlie's high praise for the game. It just genuinely sounds amazing, so And I did start watching the anime as well, so yeah, it's definitely an interesting idea for a series, and I can definitely see myself being invested in it.
Well, all right. Lucky you. Kyle and I were sitting over here waiting and waiting. But all right. So yeah, definitely read the full review if you're interested in the game. I bet it's a 5 out of 5. So I mean, whew. All right. So Liam, you reviewed the next game. Would you like to take the next review then?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
You didn't have it
Okay,
open, didn't you?
I did. Okay, so
Gotta close those
Dimension.
porn
Yeah,
things, just like Kyle.
yeah.
Come on, guys. Later,
Okay.
after the podcast.
Okay, so Hyperdimension Neptune Near You is a fast-paced, high-octane action game that is fun to play, but can be quite easy at times. The story will keep you entertained for at least 10 hours, but don't expect it to be as vast or as huge as its JRPG counterparts.
Would you rate it?
I gave it a 3.8 out of 5.
Ooh. So, talk about it. What's up with it? What do you think?
It was really fun. If people have played the Senran Kagura Shinobi Versus, they'll feel right at home with this game. It's basically the same kind of game. You take damage, clothes disappear, slight visions of nudity. But yeah, it's a great story, although the voice acting was really horrendous. There was a lot of talking going on in the game, and it got me quite... I played a lot of that with the volume down, to be honest, because the voices were just so awful.
Huh.
Yeah, the story lasted about 10 hours, which I thought was okay for what it was. There was a little bit of challenge to it, but most missions I just flew over with one attempt. But there was extra modes that you unlock at the end of the game, which made it a lot easier to take up more of my time.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know about this one. I have it, but I would rather continue playing Senran Kagura because I haven't even beaten Senran Kagura yet, and I feel like I need to finish that first. And I don't know, the Hyperdimension series have really kind of turned me off a bit. Like, there's so much talking, and you're saying how the talking annoyed you in this one. It's like, oh man, like I am trying to push through Hyperdimension Neptunia 3 or whatever, and I am literally skipping a lot of the talking because I just don't care. I just want to start playing the game.
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyways, yeah. What about Kyle? You love Senran Kagura. You've been talking about how you've been wanting to get into the Hyperdimension series. Is this one that you're gonna pick up just because it has the same type of gameplay, or are you gonna avoid it?
See, what I'm thinking now is I almost think that I need to get an Asian or Japanese copy of this game instead of getting the one that's over here.
Why's that?
Well, if the voices are bullshit, then I don't want voices, because I hate when they give English voices and they're complete crap and they just ruin everything. So I'd rather muddle through with my horrible Japanese in the Japanese version of the game than play a shitty westernized version of this game.
I want to say, but I could be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can switch to Japanese voice in the Hyperdimension games.
I couldn't remember seeing a setting myself, but that may be possible.
Huh.
I know some games do offer it, but I'm not sure if this one does. I know there's a lot of dialogue, and that would eat up a lot of space that they could use for other things.
Right. Well.
So I'm not sure. If there was, though, that's definitely what I'd be doing, because, yeah, fuck it. Bad English fucking dubs. I hate them.
Yeah. Well, I'll
Worst
update
thing
you on
ever.
that, because I have the game still installed. I'll start it up while we're podcasting and figure it out. But anyways,
Good man, good man.
check out the review, the full review, to see if that's something you're interested in. And yeah, let's jump to the next thing, which would be the new releases. But there's nothing. There's a ton of sales, but in terms of new releases, we don't have anything. So definitely a week to catch up on some games and or buy some games on sale. We'll talk about those sales probably a little later. So let's jump into the news. So first up, oh boy, here we go. Kenka Bancho Atome has been announced for Vita this week via Famitsu magazine. The game is the newest entry to the Genkan Bancho series and the first game since... here, I'm going to read this name a lot. Genko Bancho 6 Soul and Blood, which came out on the 3DS back in January. Unlike previous installments, beat-em-up titles, however, Genko Bancho Atome is an Atome game, meaning it's marketed towards females, not males. While there is no release date announced, it has been revealed that Red Entertainment will be developing the title and Spike Chunsoft will be producing it. So stay tuned to the Vita Lounge for more information as it becomes available. Next up, have you been following the development of Mike Bithel's latest title, Volume? We certainly have. Those of you that have been paying attention will know it's one of our most anticipated titles, so of course we are very excited to learn that Mike has now revealed the release date alongside a new trailer available on the site. Releasing on August 18th and launching first on Vita, PS4, and Steam. Volume is a classic remaining of the legendary Robin Hood fable and a stealth game at heart. Packed with a cracking narrative and some inventive gameplay, the game requires you to outthink and outwit the AI, and is all about not getting caught. There's no tackling the guards or going out fighting. You are really going to have to use your brain in this one. Have you been looking forward to Volume's release? We have followed up about the release date and would expect a EU release to be on the 19th, but we'll let you know for sure when we know ourselves.
PM Studios and Actil have announced that, in partnership with Neurojoy, they are bringing Super Beat Sonic to North America later this year. The spiritual successor to the DJ Max series, and already announced for Korean market release earlier this year, Super Beat Sonic has now been confirmed to be headed to North American shores in both physical and digital formats. Featuring 45 music tracks and 200 different player patterns, the team at PM Studios has worked hard to deliver a product they're proud of, and that lives up to the fans' expectations. Michael Hume, CEO of PM Studios, had the following to say about Super Beat Sonic coming to PlayStation Vita. Quote, "I am extremely excited to work with my former colleagues and bring what I feel is a spiritual successor to DJ Max. We've been listening to the fans and decided that the Vita was the best platform for our players. Following up with this bit on the teams behind the talent, quote, I'm also very honoured to work with the talented folks at both Neurojoy and Actil on the new endeavour, with the former DJ Max developers at both PM Studios and Neurojoy developing what they see as best at, and by allowing Actil to help us bring this game to the market, I feel that we can give players something that they can really enjoy. If that's not enough to entice you, some of the key features of Super Beat Sonic have been detailed as well. Rhythm on PS Vita. PM Studios will bring you back to the beat once again with the high-speed, intuitive system only found in Super Beat Sonic. Is the rhythm in you? Modes that fit you. Depending on your skill level, you can choose between 4 tracks beginner, 6 tracks, and 6 tracks X master. The handy tutorial mode will also be available as well. Massive play pattern. Are you ready to groove to our fantastic music selection and master the monster patterns thrown at you? Get your skills up with freestyle for endless gameplay. New music. Super Beat Sonic will feature Beatcraft, exclusive new music alongside several popular tracks. This music is guaranteed to electrify your Sonic experience. Real-time DJ ranking. Check your ranking in real time in both local and worldwide rankings. Ride your way to the top of the charts and become the best DJ. Music to eyes. Enhance your DJ experience with captivating illustrations. Over 50 mesmerizing images that are available throughout the game. After all that, did you think I'd leave you wondering when they dropped that beat? Hell no. We're happy to announce that Super Beat Sonic has been slated for a fall release in North America, so get those fingers ready. Curve Digital have announced that Pumped BMX Plus will be coming to the PlayStation Vita this summer. The game will task you with riding through increasingly challenging levels whilst you aim to string together some of the craziest combinations. You will be able to choose the style of your rider and will have over 500 challenges to stunt through as you race towards the top of the game's leaderboards. Curve have also revealed that Pumped BMX Plus will feature the following: a brand new fully licensed soundtrack, authentic BMX tricks that are perfect to combo for maximum creativity, beautifully rendered high-definition 3D graphics and animation, a new intelligent and enhanced control support. Every aspect of the original game that was developed by one-man studio, Us, has been enhanced for the upcoming console release. And if you are looking for extreme thrills, then it may be worth keeping your eyes on Pumped BMX Plus. Be sure to keep an eye on the Vita Lounge for more information about Pumped BMX Plus, as we'll be keeping an eye out for sure.
Alright guys, moving on. Remember Bloodstained Ritual of the Night? The Kickstarter project is turning out to be more significant for the PlayStation Vita than originally anticipated, as with the funding of the PlayStation Vita stretch goals, some interesting news has been revealed. In order to bring Bloodstained over to the Vita, Armature must first port over the Unreal Engine 4 as it's not currently supported, something they understood before taking on the task. The thing is, this is going to be a monumental task for the studio, and a lot of hard work is going to be needed to see it successfully come over. As such, this project garnered a lot of attention from other UE4 developers who expressed interest in using this ported version of the engine to help bring other games over to the PlayStation Vita as well. Therefore, Armature has also announced that after they have successfully completed the port, they will share the Unreal Engine 4 Vita code for free to any authorized developer on the platform. The ramifications of this move could prove to be enormous for Vita owners. Having a version of Unreal 4 engine up and running for the PlayStation Vita would give developers another tool to create games for the system, or more likely to port their current projects over. Along with Unity, which is already supported on the Vita, the Unreal Engine is one of the most popular game engines currently available, and for Armature to bring it to the Vita with promise of sharing to the crowd is something else entirely, let alone awesome and generous. What will the engine bring to the Vita, besides Bloodstained? Only time will tell, but more tools able to bring games to our favorite handheld are certainly not a bad thing to be getting as a bonus. The Bloodstained news train just keeps rolling, however, as on its way to become the most successful game ever on Kickstarter, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night has promised a new treat to Vita owners everywhere. One of its more ambitious stretch goals was to create a retro-style minigame that would function as a prequel for the game, and the $5.5 million that has been pledged for Bloodstained to be funded was more than enough to cover this goal. The minigame will try to shed some light on the events that happened before Miriam wakes up, and it will be entirely set in the Bloodstained universe. Backers of the game who pledge $28 or more will get the game at no additional cost, though it will be available later as a separate game purchase for non-backers as well. People who back the game at the physical plus digital level will be eligible for 2 copies of the minigame when it's released.
Alright, so, quick update. Hyperdimension Neptunia, whatever it was, Action Unleashed, you can set it to Japanese voice. I just checked.
Very nice, very nice.
So just keep that in mind. Alright, back to the news. According to a post on Siliconera, it looks like Rageverse is set to get a version 1.30 update in the near future, and with it comes some interesting additions. The first of these additions is a series of 2 short new episodes, one called Kate's Wish, centering around character Haraumi Makabe, sure, and another called Strasbourg's Father, which will revolve around the character Emil von Strasbourg. Next up is the addition of familiar new missions, some new abilities, and a that character who will appear as an NPC guest and an ally. And lastly, we can look forward to the reveal of some fan-designed costumes which were submitted in response to a February event and will be announced along with further details at God Eater Festival 2015. More information will be made available on June 28th or later, as that's when the festival starts, so be sure to check back around then for more information. And you gotta love the dogs barking. I apologize. They are barking at absolutely fucking nothing. So just enjoy that. Alright, next up. Grand Knight's history director Tomohiko Deguchi is bringing his new title, Grand Kingdom, to our handheld playground later this year. Grand Kingdom takes place in a world filled with magic, weaponry, and warfare. In-game, you'll have the option to pledge towards one of 4 nations in search of military conquest, fighting those who represent other nations, and even taking or defending territory. As for the actual battles, they're executed in a turn-based style, with players issuing orders to their mercenaries as their turn. Sort of like History Legends of War, but not quite as Western. Though listed as an online RPG, it will have an offline mode as well, and promises a robust story experience backed by both full voice support and dialogue scenes with animated portraits. Currently 65% complete, Grand Kingdom is being developed by Deguchi's studio Monocro and is set to be published in Japan by Spike Chunsoft sometime later this year.
Moero Crystal's Jennifer Brass storyline wouldn't be complete without a bunch of perverted weirdos to attempt the task, would it? Well, good news then, as Dengeki and Siliconera have provided details and renders for these such beings. Xenox is the main protagonist of Moero Crystals, and he is known as the walking lucky pervert due to consistently finding himself in strange and supposedly unexpected situations around the opposite sex. Luana is the guardian of the Great Shrine and has once held the bra of perpetual darkness and is known for being a little too interested in matters of carnal implication. Lulusi is a shrine maiden of the Great Shrine and as such has the ability to be possessed by a goddess as well as the power to easily gain trust. Both mysterious and skilled, she's someone to watch out for. Moero Crystal will be released in Japan sometime this year. Are your hands ready? Famitsu magazine has revealed that eSmile are developing the RPG Ore ni Hatarakete Iware Temotori for the PlayStation Vita. The first game in the series, which loosely translates to The Slacker, the game was originally released as a PSP for the PSP before it was ported to smartphones and the PlayStation Vita. The latest title, the third game in the series, will revolve around a Hikiomori, a recluse, who doesn't want to leave his house, so he pays adventurers to do his questing for him. The game will feature brand new characters and a new setting, but the gameplay mechanics will remain the same. When questing, you will be able to take up to 5 adventurers and 3 support characters with you, meaning that your party can contain up to 8 characters. Although it is unlikely that we'll never see a Western release, you can be sure that we'll bring you more news on this title when we have it.
Square Enix has unveiled a new Final Fantasy title for release on the PlayStation Vita and PlayStation 4. Amidst all the E3 PlayStation 4 announcements was a lone PlayStation Vita announcement in the first hour, the existence of World of Final Fantasy, a new title set to release in 2016. Not much is known about the game at this time, other than the little that has been stated here so far, though the E3 trailer looked to be quite cute and is available on the site for viewing. I'm sure we'll have more on World of Final Fantasy as E3 goes on, so we shouldn't have long to wait for another look. Did you think that World of Final Fantasy was going to be the only thing revealed this week for Vita? Thankfully, longtime Vita supporters Devolver Digital had other ideas, and we can reveal that the developer plans to bring 3 new titles our way. Of course, we already knew that the sequel to Hatoful Boyfriend, Holiday Star, would be landing on Vita, and Fork Parker, chief overlord of the studio, told the North American blog, quote, "The lovable birds of Hatoful Boyfriend are back in the remastered, holiday-themed sequel, Hatoful Boyfriend Holiday Star. Travel to fantastically styled worlds, meet interesting new chickadees, and find romance in elegantly designed winter wonderlands. Dust the snow off your wings and take flight with familiar faces and new friends alike in extraordinary adventures hatched from the whimsical mind of the series creator Hato Moa and developer Mediatronic." End quote. What we didn't know previously, however, was that the upcoming turn-based action platformer Ronin, developed by Thomas Waklawek, would also be landing our way. Set for release in late 2015, the game follows the exploits of a vengeful heroine determined to strike down prominent figures within a large corporation. Moving with precision, you need to be, quote, meticulous, or you need to use, quote, meticulous planning for each step, leap, or swing of your blade. Rounding off the list of games is Crossing Souls. Developed in a rented attic in Seville, the game is a work of Spanish coders for Attic, hence the name, and is described as a, quote, vibrant action-adventure game about a group of neighborhood bullies that set out on a quest to save their town and our world from government conspirators and shadowy forces, end quote. With no release date set, players can switch between 5 different heroes, and the aim is to utilize the unique attacks and abilities they possess in battles against local authorities, specters, and many unknown creatures. Featuring a classic Saturday morning cartoon aesthetic, we really want to find out more about this one, and we'll be sure to keep an eye out. These 3 games will be coming to us courtesy of Devolver Digital, and while we're unsure of specific release dates for any of them, we'll be sure to update you as specifics are given. And that's the news.
And I'm lost right now because I can't get back. There we go. All right, woo! Talking points, Kyle. What are we going to talk about?
Well, of course, Tyler, we always talk about announced or released games we're looking forward to from the week. But instead of going to you, I'm going to go to Liam. So, Liam, what looks good?
Volume. I've been interested in Volume since the moment it was announced, so that can't come soon enough. And also Curve's Pumped BMX Plus. I like games like Tony Hawk's and that kind of thing, so I'll definitely be giving that an eye. Hopefully it'll be like a Ollie Ollie style game, but with on bicycles instead. But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, just those 2 from the news stories from this week. Oh, and World of Final Fantasy as well. I forgot about that for a second. But yeah, that'll be good as well.
Very nice. Kyle, what about you? I'm not going to go to me yet.
You bastard. Alright, so a couple look good for me, but at the same time I'm not completely sure. Those are the Super Beat Sonic, that DJ Max spiritual successor. Pump the BMX Plus kind of looks maybe like it might be too much like Urban Trial Freestyle or whatever the hell that game is. So yeah. I'm not sure if I'm going to like that. Have to keep my eye on it. Also, Bloodstain's interesting, although it's going to be a while off. And pretty much anything that is developed with UA4 is going to be awesome to be, there, although that's not really a game. Also, what do you call it? Hatoful Boyfriend sequel, and the other 2 Devolver Digital games, Ronin and Crossing Souls, I believe. All sound interesting, but at the same time, I'm not really sure about them. I didn't really get a whole lot from that conference and what I read in the post that they had there, so I'm not sure, but it's something that I'm definitely going to look into, so I'll keep you guys updated on what I think about that. Yeah, and that's it for me this week. What about you, Tyler?
World of Final Fantasy looks awesome. When E3 was happening and they were talking about that game or showing it off, I guess, because they weren't really talking about it, but showing it off, the trailer, I was just like, the whole time saying in my head, please come to Vita, please come to Vita, please come to Vita. And then finally the trailer ended and it said PS Vita, and I was like, wah! Because I am just, I love the look of the game. It looks awesome. And the whole time, like, I was just thinking that it would be a perfect fit on our little Vitas. And of course, they didn't let me down. So that one definitely is on my list. Day 1, for sure. Anyways, enough gloating about that. Every time I see God Eater news, my ears perk up, and then it's like update or DLC or something. It's like, can you just announce it over here, please? I want that game. So, come on, Bandai. Be a friend.
I think in the near future, I definitely didn't think it was going to happen at E3. However, there's that God Eater event on the 28th. So I'm thinking if it gets announced, it might be there.
But isn't that a Japanese event?
Yes, but at the same time, it's one of those things that if you're a God Eater fan, you're pretty much going to be watching it, whether you're a Japanese fan or not.
I gotcha. Well, I guess I will be on the lookout for that day.
Indeed.
And if it is, just picture me jumping in the air and freezing in the air, like with excitement.
Well, I think at this point it's one of those things that's probably going to happen. So whether it's then or later, I think we're going to get it. So I think it's pretty safe.
Well, all right. I'm holding you to it, Kyle.
You're holding me to my, prediction.
Yep. When you
Okay.
show up for PAX Prime and you get off the plane and I'm like, oh, hey, what's up? We finally meet. I'm just be like, bam, right in the face. I'm like, that's for God Eater 2. And you're like, I deserve it.
Yeah, no, Tyler, no. That's not how it's going to go down, no matter how much you want it to go down.
Well, why don't we both just hope that it gets announced, right?
Indeed.
Well, all right. Anyways, so yeah, that game. I want that. Volume also looks very interesting. It's not on my top list, but it's definitely something that when it starts getting a little bit closer, I'll be probably getting more ready for it. But as it stands right now, there's a lot of other things I'm much more excited for. But from what we talked about, there isn't too much more. The Hatoful Boyfriend looks weird and interesting. I still got to play the first one, obviously. Yeah. Well, all right. Enough babbling here. Let's move it along. Let's get to the listener mail. Kyle, do you want to take the first one?
Sure, why not? All right, our first listener mail here is from Daniel Lopez via email, and he says, quote, "Hi guys, just wanted to give my opinion on the state of the Vita this E3. This is just the first day, so this is when he emailed. It's obviously not the first day anymore. So we could get more news, but I'm fine with what was talked. We had World of Final Fantasy and a couple games from Devolver Digital, and I think Vita owners need to understand that Vita is not Sony's priority, and that the time in an E3 conference has to be very well managed, and Sony just had lots of great things to show. I don't think this hurts the Vita because we will continue to receive games on an almost daily basis. It's just that big stages is not where the Vita will receive, or where we will receive Vita's news. I'd like to hear your opinion, and keep up the good work. Daniel." So what do you think, Tyler?
I think he pretty much nailed it right on the head. It's not the Vita show, and yet there is still plenty of things that we're getting, and amazing things that we're getting that are just not talked about. I think I mentioned it in our Skype chat. No, actually I think I mentioned it on Twitter replying to someone that if you literally just go to Amazon, go to the Vita section, go to pre-orders, there is a lot of games coming that are physical games that are awesome looking. And that's not mentioning any of the indie games that are going to be digital only that are coming that I am also very excited for. So, I mean, there's a lot coming to the Vita. It's definitely not going to be that showcase system that Sony likes to display because they just, they suck. But, yeah, there's a lot. So, yeah. What about you, Liam? Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I agree. I mean, anybody who went into the PlayStation conference and expected any sort of Vita news was probably a bit silly. I mean, I was surprised that we even got the World of Final Fantasy announcement because I genuinely thought it was going to be a full-on 100% PlayStation 4 focused show, which it was only, in that case, a 99% PlayStation focused show because the PlayStation Vita name was mentioned once. But yeah, Vita is definitely not a device that's going to be given main stage attention anymore. If you want Vita news, just stick to the PlayStation blog or stick to developers that you know are going to still support the Vita and wait for news there.
Or the Vita Lounge.
You're not going to. Oh, the Vita Lounge, yeah. I'll just stick down and we'll provide you all the news because basically it's just not going to get the main stage attention anymore.
Right. And I think Kyle has nothing else to mention because we mentioned it all, right, Kyle? Unless we missed something. What is it, Kyle? Tell us.
Well, even completely disregarding the fact that Sony really doesn't support the Vita all that well at all anymore, and really never did all that great of a job. The Vita has seen less than 5 minutes at the last 3, not including this one, the last 3 before that E3s. So if you think about it, since the Vita has been out, it has had a shit showing at E3. I don't know why you would expect anything else. So I agree with Liam. Anyone who went into this conference expecting anything out of Vita is a fucking idiot. And that's just kind of the way it is. Unless they're uninformed. Of course, you're not an idiot if you're uninformed. You're just an idiot if you think that something's going to happen that's not likely at all. Now, going back to what we were talking about with what was there and, you know, the whole Final Fantasy and what we were expecting kind of deal. Yeah, we got more than I was expecting because I was expecting pretty much what they did with the Devolver stuff. PS4 games that are also coming to Vita that they don't say anything about Vita at all about it in the conference. So if you were actually watching the E3 event, you might not have realized that Ronin and Crossing Souls were even coming to Vita because they really didn't say shit about it. So, I mean, you'd be forgiven for missing that, but those were kind of Vita announcements, even though Crossing Souls was already said to be coming to Vita via their Kickstarter. So the real announcements were Ronin and World of Final Fantasy. But there was some stuff mentioned there for Vita, so we weren't completely left out in the dark, and that was more than I thought there was going to be, especially with that World of Final Fantasy bit. So yeah, E3 is not a Vita show. There isn't really any shows that you can expect a whole lot from Vita. I think the PlayStation experience has been the best kind of thing in recent time, and that was an all PlayStation event, so you can kind of expect more Vita love there than you would at a conference where they're trying to push their PS4 because it's their front runner.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
Well, all right.
That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I think that sums it up pretty well. Thanks, Daniel, for your email. Well, let's move it along. Next up, Extema at Extema on Twitter asks, just a reminder, well, he doesn't ask a question. Anyways, just a reminder to fellow Vita fans, don't let E3 lack of Vita showings disappoint you. We are okay. And that kind of goes back to what we all just mentioned. There's a lot of stuff coming, so don't worry. And just check that Amazon. Check the Vita Lounge. We've got tons of stuff going on. There's a lot coming to the Vita, so just relax. Breathe.
If you're having a heart attack right now, go on the site and read my recent article on the fact that the Vita is not dead. It still applies as it did before E3, and you'll be fine.
Perfect. Well, all right. Next question, Liam. Read it now.
Okay. I'm just bringing it up. Okay. So the next question comes from Dave McKee, who got in touch with us via email. And his question was, why are you surprised by no Vita games related showcases and there being no price cut at the E3 press conference? Tyler?
Well, we did, I think our last episode we were thinking that there was a possible price cut going to be talked about. But at the same time, I wasn't really expecting anything. So it's kind of 50-50. I was hoping for a price cut. I thought that would have been a perfect time to be like, hey, guess what? The Vita price cut, go get it. Yay, cool. But nope. They really wanted to say nothing about the Vita, so yeah, it's not really that surprising. Kyle?
Yeah.
One word. No.
Yeah. What about you, Liam? You surprised?
Not at all. You know, again, as I said earlier, anybody who expected any sort of Vita news from the press conference was a bit deluded, to be honest. It was never going to happen, basically.
Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but it's just the reality. But as we've been mentioning, and I will say again, there's a ton coming to the Vita, so do some research, look up what's coming out, and you should be pleasantly surprised. So yeah.
Yeah.
That was our last email, I believe, or question. Correct, Kyle? We didn't get any stragglers?
Nope, no stragglers this week.
All right. Let's do something we haven't done in a while. because this little bastard here, Liam, decides to leave every time we were about to do it. So it's Guess That Game. And I wish I had like a theme song, but we don't have a
Oh
theme song. So you just gotta deal
Guess
with that.
that game.
Guess That Game. Liam and Kyle. Okay, I'm done. So, anyways, let's recap here. Kyle, you're up 3. Liam, you've got 1. You're on the board, so that's good. That's good.
Yep.
It's been
Time to bring another one to my name.
that Kyle, you gonna take that?
I don't have to make derogatory comments because I just know I'm going to win.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It's
big
getting
words,
real.
man.
Well, all right. Let's let the guessing do the talking, I guess. So, if you don't remember, we haven't done this in a couple weeks. So, the rules of the game. I will read off a description from the ESRB rating board of a game that's on the PlayStation Vita, and it is Kyle's and Liam's job to guess that game. And the first person to blurt out the name of the game, the correct name of the game, will get a point. There's 3 games here, so obviously there can only be one winner. There is no tying in this competition. There is going to be a winner. So, let's get right into it. The first game. This is a 2D puzzle platformer in which players help a boy use ancient technology.
Tesla grad.
Boom. Kyle nailed it.
Bam! Oh, yeah!
All right, Liam. It's either this one or we're going to the third game. Third game. So, get ready. Here it is. This is a puzzle adventure game in which players mine pixelated landscapes to harvest stylized. No, stylized.
Minecraft.
Yep.
Yeah! You fucked Liam!
Oh, Liam. You had the
one, baby.
You had the right idea, but you didn't say the crafting of the mines. Oh man.
Yeah, I was waiting to figure out which of the two it was before I started blurting out because I knew if I got it wrong, Liam was going to say it, and he did exactly what I was fearing what I would do. Yes.
Oh man.
Well done, Kyle.
All
right, so I'm up 4-1.
Yep.
I'm not worried anymore at all.
Well, if Liam joins in some other podcasts, I'll definitely have some more. So there's still this third game here that I didn't read. I'll save that for another one.
Well, I'm looking forward to it, so we'll have to get Liam back, even if we have to strap him to a microphone.
Well, all right. The new score, Kyle 4, Liam 1. So, Liam.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay. You're all right. Anyways, there we go. That was Guess That Game. Thanks for playing, guys, and thanks for listening, people, and hopefully enjoying that. Let's jump into the next thing we've got here, and that would be Check This Out. And that would be where we talk about a game that we think you should check out and pick up. And that would be my turn this time. So the game that I've decided would be one to check out is actually a game that's on sale right now. Or it actually might have gotten a price drop. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not. But anyways, it's cheaper right now. So definitely check it out. And that game would be Freedom Wars. It is a fantastic game. It was on sale a couple months ago or a month ago for really cheap. I don't remember. Anyways, it was really cheap.
It's been on sale a couple times.
Yes, but it's on sale again. So if you still haven't decided to bite the bullet, you need to get this game. It's awesome. It is now $14.99. It's usually $29.99, so it's half off. It's a great deal. Pick it up. But there is also a ton of other games that are also on sale. I won't go through all of them, but some ones to take note of would be Killzone Mercenary, Little Big Planet. We've got Retro City Rampage, Tearaway, Uncharted Golden Abyss. These games are all on sale. There's a whole bunch more, so definitely go check out the post that Kyle did, because these games aren't even talked about, right, Kyle?
Yeah, it's kind of a sneaky thing that they've done with putting up all these games, and they're on sale, and they really haven't said why or what or haven't even posted it anywhere. So unless you went on the actual PlayStation Store and looked, you would have no idea that these games are even on sale. So if you're looking for some stuff that they don't want you to know, there you go.
Yes. So definitely check out the post that Kyle did. There's a lot of games and a lot of great games. So if you're looking for stuff to play, because we talked about how there's no new releases this week, there's some games that you might want to pick up that you haven't. So yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next thing here, and that would be threads to look out for from the week. Kyle, what thread are we going to check out?
All right, so this week we've got a new thread that kind of builds on an old thread, but at the same time kind of takes place of what happened to that old thread. So if you guys have ever been on the forum and you've been to the My Games Bro thread, you know that it started out as a list thread and kind of turned into a post pictures of your physical collection thread. So if you're looking for something more that second area, this new thread will take that place perfectly. It's called the What Does Your Physical Vita Collection Look Like thread, and it's all about pictures. So if you've got pictures of your physical collection and want to share them off or share them with people because you want to show off or whatever, yeah, here's where to do it. There's some great pictures up of huge, awesome, and really cool collections that you should look at, and you can post your own. So if you're into sharing or looking at some cool stuff, that's a good place to go.
All right. Definitely go do that. So,
Yep, I know I'm going to.
well, do it, Liam, right now.
I'll do it.
All right.
Right now.
As soon as we're
We're
done
going to
here.
pause this podcast
As soon as we're done
right
here.
now.
All right, let's get out of here. We've talked a lot for something that everyone considers to be dying. So let's get out of here. As usual, you can find everything that we talked about on thevitalounge.net. Don't forget that we have a new email, so if you're trying to send us questions, you need to send them to mediaservices@thevitalounge.net. So send us your questions, your comments, your concerns, anything you'd like to that email. We're all on Twitter.
And we're sorry that sorry, I'm jumping in here, Tyler, but we're sorry we did not get to the emails from last week. There was 2 that came in on Wednesday regarding E3. We record Tuesday nights, so you kind of missed the window there, and they weren't really relevant anymore, so we didn't want to read them. But thanks for your emails, guys. Make sure to get them in before Tuesday night.
Yes, do that. And let's continue here. So, we are all on Twitter. At the Vita Lounge. I'm at Mr. PS Vita Reviews. Kyle is at Teflon Tactics. Liam is at Liam Hangover. We're on Facebook. Just search the Vita Lounge. We're also on YouTube. YouTube.com/loungeplay. We post up lounge plays. We post up the VitaCast, which I am working on posting up last week's episode because I've been slacking and been very busy, so I apologize. But anyways, episode 79 will be up today. But we post up lounge plays, we post up previews for games from the month, and anything else that we can think of, we'll post it up there. So, do that. Go subscribe. Support us. Also, the magazine issue 2 just went up. So, if you're not aware, we make a magazine related to the Vita, and you can find that on patreon.com/thevitalounge. You can support us there. You can get early access to the magazine. You can pick up a physical version of the magazine, or if you'd just like to have it digitally, you get it a week early from everyone else. So go support us there. Go check it out. It's up now. Go read it. Enjoy. Anything you wanted to say, Kyle, about that, or?
Yeah, physical copies should be hitting doors soon. I believe a couple of people in the UK already got theirs, so there you go, guys.
They're getting everything early. Steins Gate, the Vita Lounge magazine. Grrr!
I haven't got my copy yet. People are slacking here.
Uh-oh. Well, all right. So continuing here, the forum, thevitalounge.net/forum. Sign up, join the conversation, introduce yourself, and all that fun stuff. Look at that post or the thread that Kyle was talking about earlier, and yeah, join it. So we're available on iTunes, Podbean, Stitcher, YouTube, and via the direct download on the site. Go subscribe to us there, rate us, let us know how we're doing, and yeah, thanks for listening. We're out of here. Bye. You guys are so quiet. What the hell was that?
that like comment or whatever by Liam was kind of creepy. I don't know why, it just kind of creeped me out a little bit.
Why the awkward silence?
Well, I was gonna do something that we usually did, but then I figured I'd wait for Liam, and then Liam never went. So I was like, okay.
Well, that was awkward. I'm definitely leaving that in.